Brawlers, baby.
Okay.
All right. It's your boy, Rick Mohamed, Brawler Sports Media in the building. This is the Brawler Sports Boxing Show. My associates at 3kingsboxing.com, Studio 9. Today's special guest on the show is my man, David Benavidez, El Bandera Roja. What's up, baby? How you doing, champ?
I'm doing good, man. You know, I'm actually just getting out of a training session right now, but, you know, I just want to tell you guys I appreciate this interview, man. And, thank you for bringing me on here.
Man, I appreciate you for giving us the time because, you know, I've been at it with your dad and with the WBC folks to help put this together. So I appreciate you getting back to us. I've been patiently waiting because I understand, you know, how it goes in the business of boxing, man. So
yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much for this interview. So let's talk about real quick. Your last outing was in March of this year versus Ronald Ellis. I knew you was going to go out and destroy this guy as you should have, and that was the game plan. You stuck to it, and that's exactly how that fight ended. Talk a little bit about that, and then let's talk about what's coming up in August against Jose. How you pronounce his last name?
Uzcategui.
Yeah, let's talk about Ronald Ellis, and then we'll move on to that.
So, you know, it was the fight with Ronald Ellis, man. You know, that was originally trying to get Uzcategui in there, or, you know, somebody with a bigger name, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know, nobody wanted to take the fight, you know, so I still give hats off and props off to Ronald Ellis and his team for accepting the fight. You know, he was a little bit tougher than I expected. You know, he kept in there, he stood his ground, but, you know, I knew it was only a matter of time before I stopped him. You know, I think when I started going down to the body, that really started hurting him and started, you know, opening up for the combinations upstairs and mixing it downstairs. So, it was a good fight, man, and I feel like, you know, the crowd, or not the crowd, the audience and the people at home, you know, it was a very entertaining fight for him. So, you know, I'm excited things went the way it went, and I still got the stoppage. So that was a good fight, man. I was really happy with the way I performed.
Absolutely, because people don't know that people that never met you like one-on-one, like when I first met you and rap with you, I was like, he's cool as a fan, you know. But the beast in this guy, when he's in there square, you wouldn't think that that's the same David Benavidez. It's like you're a whole nother person when you're in that element, man. And it's just crazy how you just go in there and smoke them.
Yeah, but that's just how it has to be, man. You know, I feel like everybody in boxing, they're cool, but then they got that crazy side to them, and you know, it's you just unleash it in the ring, and you know, you can't do that in the regular world. So when you get in that boxing ring, you know, we let it all go, but that's just how it has to be, man. Especially me, that I'm younger than all these guys. You know, I'm trying to make a name for myself, and you know, I gotta be vicious. I gotta be that guy. I gotta stop them every time, and I gotta make them feel me every shot that I'm throwing when I'm in there.
And now, absolutely, and I know that you know you want the big fights. And for the record, for people that don't know your losses, this guy beat himself. Nobody's ever beat you and took your straps. So let that be known. You know. You've called out Canelo, you've called out Charlo, you've called out Caleb Plant. Why are these guys not wanting to fight you? Because here's my thing with Canelo. I understand it's a thing with the zone and Big Al Heyman making this happen. But at the same time, with Charlo and Plant now, you all fight for PBC and Al Heyman. So those two fights, somebody should be able to step up and make that fight. Why don't they want to fight you? I mean, are you the boogeyman in super middleweight? You must be.
I mean, all these guys, they talk like they're really about it, man, and they're really killers in the ring, and that they ain't scared of nobody. But, you know, you got to see, you know, people, they got to realize I had been talking about these fights since before my last fight, you know, so I was willing to make these fights. I thought we're going to come in here, you know, after the camp and, you know, maybe negotiate a fight with Charlo and negotiate one of the big guys, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I know I'm a big threat, but if you want to be a great fighter, you know, you got to go against some of the big threats like you. You know, that's how the greats are made. You know, I know Charlo. I respect Charlo. I respect all them dudes. I respect Berlanga. You know, they're all great fighters. Canelo, but I'm not gonna lay down for nobody. You know, I didn't get into boxing to be number 2. I came into boxing to be number 1. So whoever has that number 1 spot, you know, I'm gunning after the spot. You know, I'm not cocky. I'm not talking shit. This is just what it is, man. You're not gonna be in a combat sport trying to say you're the best and you're scared to fight these people. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I proved it. I would fight Caleb Plant, Charlo, whatever guys, but for some reason, them guys, they don't want to fight me, you know, and obviously it's because I have no title and I'm a big risk, but, you know, right now my job and my main focus is getting that title back, and whoever, if they want me to do another title eliminator, they want me to do whatever, I don't care. I'm willing to fight whoever so I get my spot back.
Or they can't run if you become somebody's mandatory as well, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it kind of makes it's kind of, I mean, it doesn't really make sense. I'm finding another title eliminator, but you know, if that's what I got to do, man, I'm not bitching. I'm not doing anything. I'm willing to go through anybody to get to that spot, you know, because I really want my respect from the people. I want to earn my respect, and I want to be the best fighter of the world
and get that strap back. Absolutely. And then
yeah.
and you've proven that you are one of the best fighters in the world, surely in the super middleweight division. With that being said, this fight coming up in August 28th now, Jose's last couple of fights, like for instance, Lionel Thompson at 168, he pretty much walked through him and destroyed him, knocked him down, I believe, in the first round, and dominated that whole fight with a jab, which is one of the most effective punches in the sport of boxing. And Lionel Thompson had no problems with him. And I'm saying to myself, hell, what do they think Benavidez is about to come in here and do?
Yeah, so what I want to do, I know who Jose Uzcategui. You know, I know he's a strong fighter, comes as a brawler, but I want to stop Jose Uzcategui, and I know I can stop him. You know, he's been dropped a couple times, so I know his chin is deteriorating a little bit, and I know I have more power than all these dudes he's fought. You know, Caleb Plant doesn't have the power I have. You know, Lionel Thompson doesn't have the power I have. I used to spar Lionel Thompson. You know, I know Lionel Thompson really good, and I used to walk him down. So if Lionel Thompson did that to him, then, you know, I'm extremely confident that I'm going to go in there and stop Jose Uzcategui. But it's not going to be easy. You know, that's why I'm right here in front of the gym, man. I just got done training. Yeah, I just got done training, man, because I have 5 months left into the fight, and best believe I'm going to be working those whole 5 months until I get in that ring, because you know, anything could happen. You know, anything could happen. So I've got to be extremely ready. You know, I want to reach the potential, my potential, and I want to be the best I could be, the best David Benavidez I could be, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, you know, you treat every fight as if it's a title fight. You don't shortchange anybody, because in boxing, anything can happen on any given night. There's only the one punch you never see that always takes you out. So, but I don't see that fight going past 4, maybe 6 rounds, and that's just if you want to get some extra rounds in and get a little ring rust off. But I see a stoppage early. You won't go half the night in the fight, in my opinion.
And so you know, Jose Uzcategui, I feel like he's a perfect fighter for me. You know what I mean? I feel like he's a little bit like Porky Medina. So I mean, actually, and he fought Porky Medina, and he couldn't even hurt Porky Medina. So you know, there's a lot of comparisons with those two styles. You know, so you know, a style that I favor more is a style that just comes forward. You know, just brawler that is just trying to walk me down. I know how to make him run into stuff. I know how to make him run into jabs, and I know how to make him run into body shots. But you know, like I said, he's a former world champion too. You know, I got to give him respect, so I'm gonna prepare for him accordingly. But it's just this. I'm gonna stop Jose Uzcategui.
That's my precise prediction in that fight as well. Real quick, what kind of conversations have you and your team had with Al Haymon in saying, hey, you know, another eliminated bout? You have me, you have Caleb Plant, and you have Charlo. What's the likeliness of me getting a title shot with one of these two super middleweights here?
So when I was talking to you know, before my last fight ended, you know, before the camp ended, you know, that's when me and, you know, Charlo, we're going back and forth, you know, a little trash talk here and there. So, you know, I had called Luis de Cubas, and I told him, you know, please, if you could tell Al Haymon that this is a fight I want, that I promise you this is a fight that we need. And you know, it could potentially be a huge fight, you know, especially if there's crowd, you know, it could possibly be a pay-per-view fight, because the style speaks for itself. You know, Charlo, I was a fan of Charlo. You know, I've been watching Charlo since I was like 12 years old. You know, Charlo, you know, he's been in there for a while, so I like his style. But just because I like his style doesn't mean that I'm going to go in there and just not try to knock him out. You know, this is what I do. So, you know, if you get two powerful punches like that going, you know, forward, you know, it's spelled, you know, it's a guaranteed war. So I had told them that, and they said, you know, we're gonna try to reach out to them and see what they say. But You know, like I said before my last fight, if these fights don't happen, it's not because of me. It's because the guys on the other side, they don't want to make the fight happen. You know, if you really look at it, okay, who is the dude that Charlo's fighting now? He's fighting, you know, some guy I've never heard of at 160. Yeah. But wouldn't you agree that a fight with me and him would have been way bigger than that fight?
Absolutely.
So for his trainer to say that, you know, David Benavidez has nothing to offer for us right now, you know, it just doesn't really make sense. You know, I feel like people are just giving me the turnaround, or, you know, they're really not trying to fight me. But like I said, at the end of the day, I'm 24 years old. I got time on my side. So, you know, they're going to have to see me eventually.
Absolutely, man. I mean, that fight would definitely carry pay-per-view. You guys would do some mass numbers in pay-per-view, a potential fight with you and Charlo, even if not by December, closing the year out. Definitely going into 2022, early 2022. I'm talking about like at the latest March.
Yeah.
I can see it happening, bro.
So I mean, and then this is like the interesting thing. I was thinking about it too. Okay, since they're giving everybody, you know, interim belts, whatever, why don't you make me and Charlo an interim WBC belt title fight, right, and then the winner gets Canelo. You know what I mean? It's perfect. It's perfect. You know what I mean? But so I mean, I still have faith something like that could happen. You know what I mean? And you know, so
with them doing that, then you have an incentive to fight for as well, because there's light at the end of that tunnel.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, I feel like I'm you know, I still have faith. You know, that's why I'm still here in the gym. You know, I'm trying to work as hard as I can, because I know anything could happen in these next upcoming 6 months, 7 months. So I gotta be, you know, on the top of my game. This is where I really gotta show out, and I really gotta work as hard as I can, and, you know, really work my ass off in the gym and become potentially the best David Benavidez I could be, because, you know, there's going to be some great fights coming up soon.
Absolutely, man. And you know, you definitely belong where you are. You've been a world champion 2 times, if you will, and I know you're getting probably a little bit impatient and antsy to get that strap back. And like you said, you'll do whatever it takes. That's why you're fighting another elimination bout come August, so that you can keep grinding towards getting that title fight, either with Plant or with Charlo, or for some miraculous reason you and Canelo square off. Because I feel like the fans deserve the fights that they deserve.
Yeah.
If we could do Triller and Jake Paul and them to a 1.5 million homes pay-per-view, come on, man. This is boxing. What about the boxing? Yeah. The fighters, the elite fighters that need to be squaring off, fighting one another, like Bud Crawford and Errol Spence. You know,
exactly, man. And that's just like I feel like that's what we need to move to, man. That's what, like I'm saying, that's why I'm calling out everybody from every network. You know, Edgar Berlanga, you know, everybody, because Canelo, because, you know, we all need to work together, man. At the end of the day, if we want the stock of boxing go up, everybody should just fight each other. It don't matter what network you're in. You know, I mean, I know that's kind of a long shot, but I mean, the fights are starting to happen. Like you see Tyson Fury with, you know, Joshua. That's potentially going to happen. You've seen
that's a
you've seen Tyson Fury with Deontay Wilder, how that happened, 2 fights already. So I mean, we're moving closer to that direction. So, you know, I have faith everybody, you know, all the boxing, you know, promotion companies, you know, they're going to come together and make boxing what it really needs to become, because boxing is, in my opinion, the most beautiful sport out of any combat sport ever. So, you know, all the guys need to fight each other, man, and just take boxing back to that golden era. It's exactly what it was, man, and that's really what we have to go to.
Boxing and baseball is the 2 American sports.
Exactly. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I'm not gonna keep you any longer, champ. I appreciate this time and this interview that you've granted me. Real quick before you go, let the fans know what social medias they can follow you on as well.
Yeah. You can follow me at Benavidez300 on Instagram, Benavidez300 on Twitter. And, you know, stay tuned. You know, August 28th, you know, it's going to be a great fight with me and Uzcategui. And I promise to give you guys a great fight like I always do. And, you know, stay tuned for more information, too, because, you know, everything is starting to open up. So, you know, hopefully I can get the crowd into the next fight, because, you know, I know you guys really enjoy that live. So, you know, I'm very excited for what's going to come to the future.
Absolutely. Real quick, I just want to state that we still have a pandemic. There's still cases that are rising. Deaths are still happening. Let's continue to be safe so we can stay safe and stay alive. Mask up, practice our social distancing, and keeping our hands clean. That's what we need to do, guys. Hey, I appreciate your time. It's the former 2-time super middleweight champion of the world, David Benavidez. Thank you for your time, champ. Thank your father for putting this together for me. I appreciate you, man. One love.
Okay, thank you too, brother. Have a nice day.
Let's go, champ.
Brawlers, baby.